Welcome to Remix EQ Live, where we are amplifying equity with a remix of information, interviews, and inspiration. I'm your host, Dr. Erica Tate, and today I am broadcasting live from Savannah, Georgia, where I live. For those joining us today, please drop a greeting of choice in the comments. Let us know where you are joining from and the equity work you do or aspire to do. And remember, Remix EQ Live is an experience that's meant to be shared. So I encourage you to hit the share and invite buttons and bring along your people, your network, your family, your friends, your peeps to join our Remix EQ community today. This season, we are broadcasting live on LinkedIn and YouTube. We can now connect more broadly, growing our reach and building our learning community. So while those comments are flowing in and those invitations are flowing out, I want to remind you that Remix EQ Live offers us the opportunity to connect and build community with each other around the equity-driven work being performed throughout the world. And we do this by centering the work. That is, our guests and viewers share examples of what they do in their role or position as a way to illustrate the innovative and effective ways they advance equity in the spaces in which they live, work, and play. So, throughout the show and in the comments, I invite you to share what you do to make the world a more just place. Today is the first interview show of this season. That's right, it's season 4 of Remix EQ Live. And in this episode, I am interviewing our 25th guest, Dr.
Wow.
Chantelle A. Perry, also known as Dr. C, who is the founder of theseen.ai and a senior data scientist at Microsoft. She's also the best-selling author of Data Newbie to Guru, the visual guide to learning SQL in a week. Our conversation today sits at the intersection of data science and health equity. And y'all know I love some intersections. Dr. C and I will discuss how artificial intelligence, also known as AI, technology, and data can contribute to more equitable outcomes in the Black community. So, Remix EQ community, let's begin this conversation for change. Dr. C, welcome.
Thank you. First of all, I didn't know I was the 25th guest. My birthday is on the 25th this month. I feel like this is the sign. That's pretty cool.
It is a sign because my birthday is on the 24th of this month.
See, Virgos unite.
I love it now that we're birthday almost twins. Dr. C, I invite you to introduce yourself to our
Yes.
community. And as you do, please share any career twists and turns that have led you to your current role.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So you did a wonderful job introducing me. Of course, my name is Dr. Chantelle Perry. People you on the internet and in work and stuff call me Dr. C. It's a name I picked up along the way. I'm a data scientist and a researcher. I'm also an educator and a speaker. I love educating people. And of course, I'm a best-selling author of Data Newbie to Guru. And as far as twists and turns, I think that today I really want to just kind of talk about like what brought me to back to more of the improving wellness and kind of like intersecting equity space and leveraging data and technology and AI to do that. But to be completely honest, like in the beginning of my career, I started off wanting to go into health. I actually majored in biomedical engineering. Wasn't a huge fan, so went to computer science, something I was more familiar with. And I ended up not knowing what to do with like computer science or statistics. Like I just took a bunch of stuff I was interested in. Data science was not a thing, like when I was in school. So I was really just confused, like, how do I apply these things? But at some point along my career, when I was working, and I was working on like a research project with West Virginia University, and on the side, I was doing some research. For some reason, I wasn't confident in using my skills, and I still didn't really click on how statistics could help people. But I just did this random kind of like side project with a graduate researcher in the public health space. And I was just like the person who did the stats on the side. I just crunched the numbers. It took me like 1 or 2 hours. She handed me some emergency room data, and I went and like found some census data to combine it with to like understand more about how emergency rooms were used in rural areas of West Virginia. And when I tell you I forgot about this analysis I did, I sent it off like a day or two later. And 6 months to a year later, she's like, hey, there's a Senate bill that got passed to open up 6 paramedicine facilities due to like just these inequalities of healthcare received across different counties and that data and that analysis. So that was like what opened my eyes, like the first big twist, and what opened my eyes like, oh, like something very simple to me is very powerful. So this is how this can be utilized in a statistics way. And the technology route still kind of like wasn't all the way there, but I think more recently between like 2020 to 2023, we had COVID and then a lot of like social injustices and racial injustices that were coming to light and in fruition on media, as well as just a lot of tragedy and a lot of things going on, which was really interesting because it was at that same time I was having a lot of like really good success with my career as well as like with my business. So like Data Newbie the Guru just got launched. I had like the biggest contract that I've ever gotten for my business, and I was booking like data strategy and app development contracts, things like that. But I wasn't feeling good, right? Like I just wasn't like mentally and physically there, but I didn't even really know that, which is part of what I'm going to talk about today too. And so in that time, I decided just to take a break from business altogether and just really focus on my health, other people's health, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And in that, I really just like gravitated back to understanding how technology, data, and AI really helped me. Like there was telemedicine, like I was able to like privately reach out to healthcare providers and get the care that I needed. I was able to get educated through ebooks and educated through communities that weren't available in the community that I was physically in. I was able to like utilize my research background and different search engines and recommendations and things like that to get personalized, culturally relevant care that I needed. And in doing so, I was like, wow, like I'm in data science and I can afford and have access to a lot of things. And it still took me like 3 years or so to get to like a really good point. Plus, there was a lot of things from my background that I utilized. So of course that's where like AI comes in, where I could be replacing some of the things that I know and different information other people know to be able to personalize healthcare and have more, well, better precision health and things like that in the community. So basically through that experience, I was able to understand the technology side and the statistics side and really put it all together. But those were the two things that really highlighted it for me. Like technology can be used, statistics can be used, and these things can really make an impact on people.
No, thank you so much. I appreciate you sharing that background about how you move through these different fields and one like discovered like the power that you had with data and understanding it, and then like what took you just a few moments really made a big difference for communities around your
Right.
state. But then also I like bringing in those like personal experiences and how they're
Mhm.
helping you think about how you can leverage like data and technologies to make experiences for others more improved, especially as it relates to healthcare. And I think your STEM journey is really awesome, like biomedical engineering, computing, public health, data science, automation, and AI. But I think it's great because it really shows us the possibilities of
Mhm.
STEM careers and how you can really use them to create change and as we say, like make the world a more just place. So thank you for sharing. For those who, we have comments. Sorry, hi. Oh, good morning,
Hey.
Brianna. She says, "Happy
Hi,
Friday,
Deborah. Hey,
yay!"
Brianna.
She's so excited to hear what Dr. C has to share, and we are too. Yay! All right. So for those of you who are Remix EQ Live regulars or newbies, you know that in our learning community, we love to celebrate each other and especially the works of our guests. So please join me as I shout out and celebrate Dr. C's best-selling book, Data Newbie to a Guru, the visual guide to learning sequel in a week. And yes, I'm showing my signed copy. Yes, I'm so excited. I'm always like, I have one. So thank you. I want to just
Of
quickly, before we get
course.
into more
Mhm.
of your journey, but why did you write Data Newbie to Guru, and who should buy it and read it?
Absolutely. So back when I first got on social media in like 2018 to 2020, I used to share things about data science and technology all the time. It was something that I grew up that I was really fascinated with, but it wasn't something I saw a lot in my community. And then I noticed that there was a like really just innate curiosity with people saying like, hey, I really want to learn more. Where can I learn more? Some people were having some trouble with some of the concepts and trying to like connect them together, and then additionally, people were asking for training and things like that. And I just felt like, hey, this is like a great affordable solution to help somebody who's either new to data really just get up to speed, or like somebody who's in like their business try to understand things like how data works to be able to utilize it for their business or for decision making in their life. So I went ahead and I created Data Newbie the Guru to basically give people like a really simple, quick understanding of data, and like also a visual representation to go along with the word so they would be able to more easily connect the concepts. So it's for a few different types of audiences or people, mainly for people who want to get into data or technology, and they're really just trying to like connect the dots of how data can be utilized in a real world setting, and like kind of just get up to speed really fast without it being too overwhelming. And also for people who are just really curious on how these things work, I always tell them like, hey, skip the coding parts in the book, just read the parts of the book that are about like, you know, real world applications and understanding how data works, so you know. And I think it really helps people understand like even how their data is being utilized by different companies. So it's for data newcomers and data like curious people.
That's great. Well, thank you for packaging your experiences and expertise in this book. It's really wonderful to see Black women not only sharing their STEM experiences, but you actually created a resource to help facilitate entry into these fields. So, data newbies and data curious. I like
Yeah.
that term. Today's your day. So, purchase it, read it, apply it, gift it. Data Newbie to Guru, the visual guide to learning sequel in a week by Dr. Chantelle A. Perry.
Yes.
I'm so excited. All right. So, for those who are just joining us, this is Remix EQ Live, where we are amplifying equity through a remix of information, interviews, and inspiration. And now that you've had the chance to meet or reconnect with Dr. Chantelle A. Perry, also known as Dr. C, I know you're inviting others to tune in. But of course, I invite you to interact with us. So, post comments, say hello, ask questions, share examples and learning as we dive into this interview. You are part of this Remix EQ live
Hey, Joy.
experience. So now we're going to center the work. This is an opportunity for us to learn from Dr. C about how her work sits at the intersection of data science and health equity. So, Dr. C, in your role as founder of theseen.ai, how do you advance health equity using technology, AI, and data?
So we just recently launched. So the first thing that we're doing is we're putting out a blog and a newsletter to really just educate people on how they can leverage data technology and AI to improve wellness and advance equity. So it's definitely going to have some different intersections to it. There's going to be a lot of education about how to lead data science and technology projects. There's going to be education on how to utilize data in different spaces, as well as like understanding different experiences of diverse people in these spaces. And one of the things that I want to hit home on more importantly is that over the years, I've noticed with working with different STEM professionals and different people who are trying to utilize data technology and artificial intelligence, analytics, things like that, is that sometimes there's a level of feeling like imposter syndrome, or like even a level of like ego, like know it all, I'm going to like do this thing and not, and then have like bias in what they're doing and stuff like that. So trying to like find that balance. So we're also going to work on that a little bit in that blog and newsletter too. So that's the first way, and that should be launching probably around the beginning of September is our goal. That's what me and Joy in the comments, she's out there, thanks for coming, Joy. We're shooting for September beginning to relaunch both of those. And additionally, right now we're working on a research and development concept. It is still very much in concept and ideation phase, and we are definitely working on trying to get funding to bring this prototype to life. But the concept that we're working on is developing some kind of digital health application or platform for African Americans who are suffering from mental health challenges that stem from generational trauma. So trying to come up with different solutions that are affordable, accessible, that help fight those stigmas and help people get unbiased and culturally relevant care. So those are the two big projects that we have going on right now.
That's great. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited for your release of your newsletter and blog. So like, it seems like there are many different ways that you can help like build our knowledge and experiences for working in the field. And then I'm really excited about this the digital application or app. Like it really seems like you have taken all that you have learned
Yes.
and done, right, and to focus it on a particular community, like the Black community, on a particular challenge, and so like mental health or generational trauma. And I think it's really great to see that like that come to fruition. And I also wanted to ask about like, so you're developing this app to address generational trauma in African American community. And how does the data science part apply to it, or what's the role of data science in helping this project come to fruition?
Absolutely. So in this, we have a couple of different challenges that we're dealing with, right? We have accessibility, we have affordability, we have like cultural relevance and stigma, and then we also have, I think those are pretty much the biggest ones that I'll hit home on. But when we talk about accessibility and affordability, technology plays a major role. It helps us be able to access things that we may not have an opportunity to be able to connect with through like telemedicine, through mobile applications, and different technologies like that. So that's one way, as well as affordability with reducing costs of having to travel to facilities, cost of possible like consultations, and additionally like cost of like having to upkeep facilities as well. As far as like the like stigmas around healthcare, technology can offer privacy, and it can also offer like a safe space for people if done the right way. And then one of the ideas I have is around also like anonymity. So technology and data privacy can also offer that as well. And then additionally, the big data science part comes in precision health and personalized healthcare. So being able to understand and take all these social contexts and all these factors about a person to be able to offer and recommend and personalize the experience of their healthcare for them is where data science and artificial intelligence really, really comes in, as well as some of the stuff I hit home earlier on, which was there was a lot of resources that I had available when I was going through my own journey with professionals, my own insight from research, people in my life who've been through the experience and were able to kind of like find the care that they needed. And artificial intelligence cannot mimic that, but it can take some good parts of what people have in their knowledge and education and kind of just help elevate and not really replace, but assist healthcare providers in diagnosing and treating and recommending healthcare. So that's where the data science really ties into it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm very excited about like how you take your technical knowledge and how you're using it to really change how like not just access to healthcare, but how
Mm-hmm.
people's experience with that healthcare provider or community is. And then I don't know. I mean, like I imagine it, but like to see in action how AI and can really have a personalized and less biased experience or provide that for those who are seeking care is really exciting. And I think that the lessons that you'll learn in this development and through the iterations will not only inform your product, but really inform the many different fields that are intersecting here so that we can really learn how to support and protect and like heal communities through these
Mm-hmm.
digital spaces. So I look forward to your work. I'll be following to see what.
Yes.
Yes. So yay! Hi, Joy.
Hey.
You guys know each other, but it's good to know you. And then she says, "Go, Dr. C." And then we have Shakara
Hey,
Johnson.
Shakara.
Oh,
Yes, happy Friday.
that's our Happy Friday dance. I like that it looks the same. So the Remix EQ community is always ready to add examples, strategies, and tools to our repertoire as we work to make the world a more just place. This really helps us connect to and visualize the important work that you do, but it also helps us to learn from and with you about the experiences of the people and places that you serve. And so I know that you mentioned a few earlier, but I just wanted you to kind of share with us, like, the focal community of the app is the Black community. And could you just share or really highlight a few challenges the Black community faces with respect to accessing culturally relevant mental health care?
Absolutely. I am not, purposes, I am not a healthcare professional. I'm not giving out any healthcare advice or anything. This is just through research and personal experience. But for the African American community, and I think there's probably other different minority communities as well that deal with just stigma in the mental health community due to education and awareness. And it's and also like medical apartheid. So then there's like a distrust of like the healthcare system, especially in the United States, or at least that's to my knowledge in the United States. So you're dealing a lot with not only trying to seek this care and there's a stigma in your community and possibly like, not having approval and a negative experience this direction, but you're also having to go into an environment where there's mistrust and possibly having a negative experience on the other side with maybe a biased healthcare provider. So seeking culturally relevant care with somebody you trust and possibly even somebody that like looks like you in these spaces where there's a stigma, you're dealing also with low rates and low numbers of people who are in our community that can even deal with these types of challenges and help. So technology also helps like spread that, right? Make a bigger impact with the few people that are there. And also it allows us to be able to kind of like have that privacy, so we don't have to like deal with some of the stigmas, or we can kind of separate from some of those stigmas and get the education, awareness, and the healthcare that we need. So those are really the two biggest areas outside of like the safety and the affordability. I mean, the accessibility and the affordability that I wanted to hit home on for us, particularly in our community.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you for sharing that and sharing those insights. We appreciate it. It helps us to better understand the challenge that you're trying to solve, and then understand like why you're designing and developing in the way that you are. So appreciate it. We have Matilda Khan. She's like, yay, Dr. C. I really enjoy the amount of exclamation points in all of these comments today. She says she has a signed copy of your book as well, and she's a seasoned sequel.
Yes, that's my girl.
Yes, and she still found valuable insights from your remarkable book, Dr. C. I love it.
Thank you. Matilda brought it for the whole family. She brought books for the whole crew. We appreciate your support, and I really appreciate you allowing us to serve you and your family and y'all's tech education needs. I really love this. Thank you so much.
Okay, so you work at the intersection of multiple fields of study and practice, health, data science, technology, equity. So this means that you're bringing together different expertise and approaches in your work. And some of that, of course, is your brilliance, right? And your experience in working in different fields, and that you share throughout your introduction. But some of that is also you tapping into other people's brilliance. So we'd love to learn more about your partnerships. So in your work, who have been partners, or what types of partnerships have you pursued to support what you're doing?
Woo, so many. I'm not a healthcare professional or practitioner. So that was numero uno, especially when it came to this application, because the last thing I wanted to do was provide people with education or healthcare that they don't need, or puts them in like a bad spot or the wrong direction. So when I talk about healthcare providers and practitioners, and researchers, I'm talking about psychologists, psychiatrists, neurologists, counselors, therapists. STEM Noir was a great resource for me to go learn more and connect a lot with a lot of different health practitioners and health professionals, understand the kind of research they're working on, additionally in the equity space, but understand what they're experiencing and people who I can consult with to be able to build this application or pursue this idea and this prototype. Additionally, I work a lot more so on the application side of things, like the building the algorithms, building the technology, making sure things get out there and that people actually interact and experience them, and like how does that experience impact people on the other side. So sometimes like I have to go to people more so in the equity space and the responsible AI space because I'm dealing with understanding things more algorithmically and trying to keep up with different types of technologies. So like Dr. Odor, who deals with human computer interaction, Dr. Marshall, who is a data equity strategist. Those are like my two go-to people right now. And then of course, like following Dr. Tennant Gabru and understanding how I can be better in my utilization of these technologies and these solutions from an equity and a more responsible AI side of things as well. So yeah, a lot of different connections on both sides.
Yeah. But it's great. I mean, you think the work that you're doing is really trying to solve or address a very complex problem. So it makes sense that you have all of these amazing partners across fields working together to try to figure out how like everything works or fits so that you can bring these solutions to communities. And so thank you so much for sharing the range of fields, sharing the people so people can jot that down. You have a work that we can, look at and continue to build our knowledge and understanding. Is much appreciated. Okay, so as we come to a close on Remix EQ, Live, we always expect for our guests to drop knowledge and drop inspiration for how to make the world a more just place. And of course, Dr. C, you've done that by sharing your career twists and turns. You really helped us build our understanding of what it means to work at the intersection of data science and health equity, the role that data and technology can play in building toward more equitable outcomes and mental health, and of course, just how partnerships are so critical and important to this work. But I'm going to ask for you to drop one last piece of inspiration on us. Right? What keeps you inspired or motivated to continue to work at this intersection of data science and health in order to make the world a more just place?
Oh my goodness, there's so many people and things that just like you, like healthcare professionals and how they put themselves out there every day in those environments to try to make the world a better place. And then the patients on the other side who are seeking care to be able to get, the help that they need and be able to break cycles and spread love and joy in the world. People who are out here doing the work, making the difference and trying and fighting against a lot of like the different things that are going on in their mind, telling them, oh, it's impossible to do, and not, but still pushing along. Like just everybody I've worked with, everybody on my team, the people in the comments, especially, like, I don't even think y'all understand the stuff that people tell me, and the inspiration keeps me moving a great deal. Like I screenshot all of these when I'm feeling like, oh gosh, what's going on? And I'm like, people are inspired by me, and then they also inspire me. So like I really appreciate this. So yeah, that's what inspires and motivates me. There's so much. Like
I love it. And I love that you draw inspiration from those who are around you and who are working toward the same goals as you. I think that's lovely. And we are definitely inspired by you and the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Oh, Matilda Khan. All these exclamation points, girl. I love it. She's like, yes, we did. Oh, wait. Oh, getting all of them. All 8 copies were studied by her siblings. Oh, wow. Currently in the villages of her beautiful island, Papua New Guinea, and we hope to share with others in the village as we learn to answer more questions. And her next comment is, you are changing the world, Dr. C. Like literally, Papua New Guinea. I love it. And then Daniel Ellison, hello. She says, great information. Yes, no, indeed. I was so excited. Look at your reach.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the thing. Like people reach me. Technology's crazy. Like, look at us. This is wow. Like
I love it. Well, thank you, Dr. C, for accepting my invitation to speak about what matters most to you, your critical work at the intersection of data science and health equity, and also sharing why you've chosen to make the world a more just place. We are all grateful for the opportunity to listen and learn from you today. Just a reminder, we will be back for another Remix EQ Live show on Friday, August 25th, Dr. C's birthday.
And I'm going to be watching. I'm gonna be off watching that whole day
at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and you're invited to celebrate Black Breastfeeding Week with Dr. Nandi Marshall, who will be speaking with us about this topic from a public health perspective. and Dr. Kathy Anderson, who will be speaking to us about the topic from an integrative and pediatric medicine perspective. So tune in on LinkedIn and YouTube. Watch your feed, check your inbox, and visit the Remix EQ Live webpage for episode announcements, recordings, and more information about our inspiring guests like Dr. C and upcoming events. You can also watch, react, comment, and share my TEDx talk entitled Building Community to Make the World a More Just Place. It is inspired by the Remix EQ Live experience, and also discover new ways to support the Remix EQ community via donation or by purchasing merch, like the Amplify Notebook. And while you're on the show's webpage, please poke around my website and learn more about my business, Blue Knowledge, and our growing family of brands and services which advance equity in schools and communities through collaborative research, inclusive evaluation, and equity-driven professional learning. You can also follow us on LinkedIn and the Blue Knowledge YouTube channel. And of course, I invite you to connect with me always in this space. We have a couple of comments. Toby says, always supporting everything.
That's my girl.
Dr. C, yeah.
That's my girl.
Oh, I love it.
Shout out to Bay.
And Laverne Litter says, great job.
Thank you.
Yes.
Shout out to Danielle and Laverne. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Remix EQ community, for your engagement, your encouragement, your rally, which is how we recognize, appreciate, learn, love, and take care of you as you work to make the world a more just place. I'm your host, Dr. Erica Tate, and this is Remix EQ Live. See you next time.